Hey y'all, TRG here, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be talking about an extreme winter storm that is going to be making its way across portions of the central United States very late tonight into tomorrow and Monday morning. Let's go right on into today's video. Let's go ahead and start with the general timing of our winter storm. So let's go ahead and pull this on out. This is going to be for about noon Eastern time, which is when I'm recording this video. We're currently seeing some mixed precipitation to some ice out here in most of Kansas into southern Nebraska. We'll also have this big ball of energy up here that is associated with an atmospheric river currently traversing the Rockies. And once these two meet, you will see here we'll get a low pressure system that begins to form out in New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, into Texas, and that's going to eventually take shape as a strong low pressure system going into southwestern Oklahoma by very late tonight, probably around 11 p.m. to midnight is when this winter storm is really going to get going. We'll have a very large area that is seeing heavy snowfall, a large area that will be seeing some ice and mixed precipitation, and then of course we'll have some rain right in front of that low pressure system in portions of eastern Oklahoma. Pulling that forward even more, early morning tomorrow morning around 5 a.m. we'll have that band of very heavy ice setting up over portions of Kansas into northwestern, west central Missouri, maybe into northwestern Oklahoma, with those potential blizzard, intermediate blizzard conditions setting up in north central Kansas. Pulling that even further out here into Sunday afternoon, this is when it will be worst, probably around 1 to 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon. We'll see a pretty good chance at blizzard conditions out here in most of Kansas into portions of northern Missouri, southeastern Nebraska, maybe even southwestern Iowa as well. So continuing on here, we're going to pull this out till 3 p.m. That's when we're going to continue to see these very heavy snow bands making its way across portions of Kansas into Nebraska, Iowa, most of northern Missouri, south central Indiana, southwestern Ohio, into portions of Kentucky as well. But this is the part that is probably going to end up being the most concerning. Right in here, look at all of the ice and mixed precipitation we are going to be seeing out of this going towards Sunday at 3 p.m. A very large swath of that is going to be ice and mixed precipitation. Also going to see some snow in that as well. But overall, this is going to lead to extreme winter storm impacts out here in southern Illinois, southwestern Indiana, that could cause potentially upwards of a week without power if you live out here in south central Illinois into southwestern Indiana. Pulling that out further, this is going into very early Monday morning now. This will continue to slowly push off to the east, now into portions of Ohio, West Virginia, and eastern Kentucky. And then finally, as we go into Monday afternoon, we're going to start seeing that snowfall leave Illinois. But still, even into Monday morning and Monday afternoon, you're going to be seeing that snow in portions of Illinois continuing to add on to those disruptions and snow accumulations. Before I pull this model run out any further, I ask that you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, so that way we can reach the YouTube algorithm, and also share this video with your family, friends, and on social media. Let's go ahead and continue on with this model run. Before I show you guys the mid-Atlantic, I want to show you guys the freezing ice accumulations out here in the central plains into the Midwest. Look at this large band of freezing rain here that the HRRR shows. Now, there's a few pockets here, specifically in this corridor here, where we're most likely going to see those very long duration disruptions occur, but a lot of people are going to get some ice out of this on top of snow, so it's going to lead to literally possibly impossible travel conditions if you live along this area. So please plan to stay off of the roads tonight into all day Sunday and probably all day Monday as well, as this ice will be lingering around for at least a day after the event ends. Now let's talk about the mid-Atlantic area. This is starting on Monday morning, where we will see that heavy band of snowfall making its way across portions of Pennsylvania into New Jersey, the DC area as well. That should be just mainly snowfall. I don't think we'll see a lot of mixed precipitation mixed in there. Now, if you're to the south of the DC area, that's where we're going to be seeing a lot more freezing rain and ice impacts, maybe some mixed in flurries, but I don't really see a lot of actual snowfall accumulation occurring out there in portions of Virginia. However, it's still a possibility. And then, of course, as we go again into Monday afternoon, now pushing into the evening hours, we'll see that band behind our low pressure system continuing to drop some snowfall out in portions of Tennessee, Kentucky, into Ohio and Indiana as well. Pulling this all the way out until Monday night, we'll continue to see that snowfall behind our low pressure system. This is when we could see some of that snowfall accumulate into portions portions of western and central Virginia, maybe even as far as south central Virginia where I am. Now, there's only one snowfall forecast I want to show you guys, and that is from the National Digital Forecast Database from the National Weather Service themselves. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. If you live out here in portions of north central and central Kansas, that's where we're probably going to see a pocket of heaviest snowfall, potentially upwards of a foot, maybe even 13 inches of snowfall is expected for you guys. Near and north of Kansas City, we will also see another pocket of very heavy snowfall, 1.5 feet of snowfall out here. So that's where we're going to see our heaviest band set up. And there will also be another area, probably just near, if not barely north of St. Louis, where we'll also see the chance for a foot of snowfall. So this general area right in here is where we're going to have that best opportunity for a foot of snowfall. If you live anywhere from just east of Hays, Kansas, through Manhattan, Kansas, in Kansas City, St. Joseph, Missouri as well, through portions of central and northern Missouri, south of Kirksville, Missouri, that's where you have that highest chance of a foot of snowfall occurring. Now, it is important to note, I do think this could shift a little bit more south. I don't think it will be shifting any more north than this, so just take note that these totals could actually shift a bit closer to, say, the St. Louis area, Columbia area, and even into Kansas City, Missouri as well. Pulling this out a little bit more to the east here, heaviest snowfall and portions of Indiana and Ohio should be along the southwestern and central portions of the state. If you're in northern Indiana or Ohio, you'll most likely miss out on the heaviest band of snowfall from this system. That's where we could pick up on some isolated amounts, anywhere from about 6 to 10 inches of snowfall being a possibility if you live in central Indiana into central and southwestern and southern Ohio. West Virginia also going to kick up on those snowfall totals, potentially up to about 9 inches of snowfall as well. Northern Virginia, in and around Maryland as well. Remember, this is kind of your most likely case scenario, so we could see a little bit less than this in some areas, and actually more than this in some other regions as well. It just depends on where that heaviest snow band sets up. Now, when you see that glitch, you just saw that glitch of 21.5 inches of snowfall over Maryland. Ignore that. That's just a radar omega glitch. Now, one area I did want to talk about is Delaware and New Jersey, because this area hasn't been mentioned much at all, and you guys could actually pick up on a lot of snowfall out here. I mean, in central to southern New Jersey, we're looking at about 4 to 8 inches of snowfall possible if you live in central southern New Jersey, and then almost the entire state, if not the entire state of Delaware, will be picking up on around 7 to 8 inches of snowfall. So definitely going to see some pretty high-end totals, in my opinion, in portions of Delaware and southern New Jersey than what we were originally forecasting about 2-3 days ago for this region. I also want to show you guys all the watches and warnings in place. Radar Omega is having its normal bugs here. We do have winter weather advisories in place in central Nebraska, and as well as winter storm warnings in place in portions of around Dodge City, Kansas, but Radar Omega is just glitching out per usual. But we do have winter storm warnings all the way in effect from about Dodge City, Kansas, all the way through central northeastern Kansas, into north central Missouri, through southern Illinois, central Illinois, into central southern Indiana, most of Kentucky under those winter storm warnings, southwestern Ohio in those winter storm warnings, and winter storm watches has also just been issued for portions of Virginia, Maryland, into Delaware and New Jersey. The most important thing here, and the thing that I'm watching the most, is to see if these ice storm warnings will be expanded more into central Illinois, into as well as southwestern Indiana, as we could see those extreme winter impacts extend all the way up towards potentially Washington, Indiana. Now let's take a look at the Winter Storm Severity Index, commonly known as the WSSI. And let's go ahead and zoom on in here to northeastern Kansas. So the red area is where we are expecting major impacts. That's where we could have widespread closures, failure to the infrastructure, and people could be without power for days, even maybe up to a week without power if you live in these areas. This includes a large region of Kansas through even central and northern Missouri, including Kansas City. Also in and north of St. Louis could see those major impacts. And the worst impacts of all will be where those bands of very heavy ice setup, most likely near Louisville, Kentucky, pulling through Evansville, Indiana, into south central Illinois. That's where we're going to be seeing major to extreme winter storm impacts. As we talked about in yesterday's live stream, we have a level 1 in that dark green, level 2 in the slight, and a level 3 in the enhanced risk for severe weather. Primarily, this is for what we expected, damaging winds up to about 70-75 miles per hour. Could still see up to an inch in diameter hail, and the tornado threat is still a very large large 5% chance. I do think we could see a 10% or 10 significant chance somewhere in northeastern Louisiana, southeastern Arkansas, into west central Mississippi. But right now, there's not enough confidence in an organized band of tornadic showers to pass through that area in order for the SPC to upgrade to a 10% chance for tornadoes. Taking a look here at your simulated precipitation for tomorrow, this is for 2 p.m. Sunday. That's when we're going to start seeing potentially some tornadic showers begin to form out here in portions of Louisiana, southeastern Texas. That's when our threat's going to begin to uptick significantly for the risk of tornadoes and damaging winds. As we go towards about 4 p.m. Sunday, our tornado threat will most likely be peaking in portions of Louisiana, northeastern Louisiana, west central Mississippi. And then by the time we get into the evening hours, this line is going to be weakening. And probably at 9 p.m. tomorrow night, that severe weather threat will deteriorate rapidly, and we most likely won't be dealing with much of a overnight severe weather threat here in Mississippi. So the area I'm most concerned about for tornadoes will definitely be in this general region here, especially as we go from about the 2 p.m. Eastern to around the 6 p.m. Eastern time frame. So what's next after this crazy winter storm on Sunday and Monday? Well, here's the CPC outlook. They have a very large area of below average temperatures in much of the United States, including the southeastern U.S., and below average chance for precipitation in much of the eastern and central sides of the United States. The only area I'm really watching for snowstorm potential will be somewhere from about eastern Tennessee through Mississippi back out into Texas. That's where I think we'll have a chance for a winter storm around the time frame of January 9th and 10th, but I don't see anything significant coming out of that just yet, but you never know, it could uptrend, so we are monitoring it. Then as we go from the day 8 to 14th time frame outlook here, we're going to be looking at probably another opportunity for a snowstorm somewhere in the central or eastern portions of the United States. And the most interesting thing here on their outlook is the week 3 to 4 here, which is January 18th through the 31st. We are definitely going to be getting into an active pattern for snowstorms in the middle and the latter half of January. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, share this video with your family, friends, social media to help spread weather awareness, and I'll see you guys in today's live stream as well as Sunday's live weather coverage for this winter storm. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.